From the crossroads of entertainment and culture, to the stories that move the streets and shake the box office, this is Blues Nightly News, the world of movies, music, comics, and culture, the way it really is.
Yeah, what up, what up, what up? What's good? What's good? What's poppin'? How y'all doing, man? How y'all doing, man? Hopefully y'all good out there on this Tuesday. They say you shouldn't date your material, but hey, it's Tuesday, man. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling out there? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? How y'all doing? Try to get a little energetic today. You know what I'm saying? I think we got a good show today. Gonna talk a little bit. Get, you know what I'm saying? Have some good words, good words, good words. House gang, house gang, house gang. Welcome to Blues News, man. You know who I am, man. I'm your host, Bluminati. This is where we break down the biggest culture bombs before you even feed into all the other BS that be going on, man. You know what I'm saying? Part comedian, part culture critic, 100% streaming junkie. That's me, man. That is me. That is me. Tonight, what we got tonight? Tonight, we are talking about a remake of Set It Off. A remake of Set It Off. Are y'all here for that? Are y'all here for that? The bank robbery classic from the 90s is getting a fresh coat of paint. Y'all here for that? Y'all here for that? Okay, okay. Then we got Warner Brothers Discovery. Warner Brothers Discovery is up for sale. The comic book giant or streaming giant or both. You know what I'm saying? What are they doing with it? I don't know, but it is up for sale. They are saying we are up for sale. That is what Zaslav is putting out. That's what who gonna get it? Who's gonna buy it? Who is gonna buy it? They are up for sale. Then I like to end in debatable topics that kind of get things going, moving, and whatever. You know what I mean? Henry Cavill, man. James Gunn, the Superman drama. Uh it just won't stop with this with the Snyderverse. Just won't stop with the Snyderverse. They will not let it go. They will not let it go. And Zack Snyder seems to be the biggest perpetrator. The biggest perpetrator. So yeah, man. Grab your popcorn, man. Grab your popcorn. Why did they do that? There we go. Grab your popcorn. Lock into the chat. And let's ride. I meant to do that before. I meant to have this up before while talking, but it did what it did. You know what I'm saying? It did what it did. There we go. Yep. Grab your popcorn, lock in. Let's get ready for the chat. Let's ride. Let's ride. Let's ride. Let's start off with let's start off setting it off. Let's set it off in this mofo. Let's set it off first, man. Let's set it off first. Apparently the iconic 1996 film Set It Off is getting remade, right? That's right. This bank heist film, the bank heist queens, they are back. And the man tapped to direct, the guy is the guy who brought you Creed. That is who is bringing you the goods. Big shoes, big stakes, man. Big shoes, big stakes. Now, I don't think it should be touched. I know they took it to Broadway or whatever. I don't think it needs to be remade whatsoever. That's just get that off my chest right now. I do not think it needs to be remade. I think it needs to just live on as is. But sure. The original gave us the streets, sisterhood, action, identity. But when we have these remakes, you have to ask a certain question, like, is the vibe going to stay that way? Or are we going to be live in 4K, but it's just going to strip the soul out of everything? Because a lot of remakes don't have the same, because you can't capture that lightning in the bottle again. Or let me say this, it's hard to capture that lightning in the bottle again. That soul, that essence, that groove, that cool, or whatever it is that made that first movie do what it do. It is hard to replicate that. It's just hard to replicate. You know what I'm saying? Just really, really, really hard to replicate that. So let's get into this. This is coming from what's this? Punch Drunk Critics. Shout out to Punch Drunk Critics. It says It's a Race. Set It Off remake lands Creed 2 director Stephen Cavill Jr. Like I said, that was the director who did Creed 2. If y'all like Creed 2, then this might really interest y'all. What really piqued my attention with this is the Issa Rae connection. I see Lawrence already in the chat talking about who could play him. Keke Palmer, Tiana Taylor, Coco Jones, Dominic Thorne. I can see that most definitely happening. Those are not bad fan cast right there. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. They're going to say it was released in 1996. Set It Off is probably one of our favorite or your favorite actors' movies. The crime thriller about 4 black women in LA who go for broke by robbing a bank is one of the most influential black movies to emerge from the fruitful period. Back in 2019, Issa Rae set out to do a remake, fresh out the success of the comedy One of Them Days, which Rae produced. Set It Off has finally found its director. According to Jeff Snyder talking about about this, man. Salute to Jeff Snyder. Says Creed 2 and Transformers Rise of the Beast director Stephen Cavill Jr. has boarded Ray's Set It Off remake. The original 1996 movie was directed by F. Gary Gray as his follow-up to Friday, and it was a surprising success with $41 million on a $9 million budget. The film's popularity was built on the incredible chemistry of its stars, Jada Pinkett Smith, Queen Latifah, Vivica A. Fox, and Kimberly Elise. It seems that Issa Rae might just be following the footsteps of F. Gary Gray, right? F. Gary Gray did Friday. Issa Rae did Just One of Those Days, which to me was just like the female version of Friday. F. Gary Gray also did Set It Off. Now it seems like Issa Rae wants to do Set It Off. Now, I would, instead of just doing Set It Off, I would maybe do you know what I'm saying? Like a, what they call it? It'll be a remake, but I would change the name. You know what I'm saying? It'd be one of those movies like, oh, that's kind of just like a remake of Set It Off. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it is a remake of Set It Off, but I want to change the name because I got new characters. I'm doing a whole different little thing, but it is Set It Off. Like, I think she should do that. That's how I think she should do it. I think that would work better if she did that. Says Cavill is reportedly attached to direct I Am Legend 2, but nothing is confirmed. He's an underrated filmmaker. I thought he did a bang-up job taking over for Ryan Coogler in Creed 2 and his 2016 debut crime thriller, The Land, is a much watch. Ray initially set One of Them Days writer Sarita Singleton and Nina Golster on the screenplay. However, the script is getting another look by TV veteran C.A. Johnson, who did Filthy Rich. Ray will produce and star in she's going to star in it too. So there you go, Lawrence. She's going to star it. She's going to be in it, which will lean more into comedy. So we'll see if this stays true after Johnson finishes the rewrite. So they're saying that this Set It Off is gonna be leaning into the comedy, and she's gonna star in it. How do y'all feel about that? Issa Rae starring in Set It Off, a little bit more comedic. That might have turned me off. I don't know if we want, or well, this goes back to her changing the whole name of it. Like, it's a spiritual you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe she should do like a spiritual remake. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. Is this a spiritual remake? Change the name, lean a little bit more into the comedic aspect of it. I think that'll work. But if it's Set It Off and then it ends up being comedy, I don't think that's gonna work. I don't think that'll work. 6, you got to go somewhere, man. Well, I'm gonna put you in timeout. Tilly cannot be in nothing. Not nothing we do. Not nothing we do, 6. Tilly cannot show up in anything that we do, brother. Tilly got to stay right where she at. In the Matrix, or wherever she at. But now, what do y'all think? Would y'all want to see a more comedic lean into set it off, or you know what I'm saying, being a more comedic situation with Issa Rae Storm, who had Lawrence already gave us the fan cast. You got to take one of those people off, Lawrence, I would say. And who would you drop, Lawrence? Who would you drop? You had Keke Palmer, Tiana Taylor, Coco Jones, Dominique Thorne. Issa Rae is taking one of those 4 spots. So who would you drop? And who would be the other in the chat? Do y'all have a fan cast who y'all would want to see being this set it off remake? Q, what up, Q? Nah, you ain't late, brother. You right on time, cuz you're right on time. But what would y'all want to see, man? What would y'all want to see? I think if anybody could pull it off, it's probably Issa Rae. It's probably Issa Rae. If somebody's gonna pull it off. But like I started this conversation off, I think you leave set it off alone. Now, if you want to do, like I said, a spiritual remake, like I'm gonna take kind of the nuts and bolts of the 96 movie and right around it, you know what I'm saying? Then maybe, and change the name, then yeah. But calling it set it off, nah. That's one of them things that's just, you just gotta let it live, right? Just gotta let it live. That's how I look at it. You just gotta let it live, man. It's one of them. It's one of them. So we'll see. Y'all let me know what y'all think. What do y'all think about this Set It Off remake? Let's keep this thing moving, man. Let's keep it moving. Let's talk about WB. Let's get into the WB, man. WB being up for sale. And we already kind of knew, you know what I'm saying? We already knew the WB was going to be up for sale, and they were selling WB, but it seems like they going full bore with it. Like they ain't playing. We want to sell. Y'all got to come through. It might be a bidding war. I don't know. But Zaslav and them over there, they are selling. They selling, y'all. It's for sale. It is for sale. So let's get into this article. How do I do that? There we go. Wrong article. Let's get into this article, man. Warner Brothers Discovery is for sale after all as multiple parties circle. Now, like I said, we already knew it was for sale. It's no big secret, none whatsoever, you know. But that's like, in your house, you might have to, sell the fridge, sell the couch. We'll see. Like you just start selling off bits and pieces, because that's what it looks like that they really want to do. It doesn't look like they want to sell the whole company as a whole. You know how Paramount was like, oh, we're going to just buy WB. I don't think WB wants to sell that way. I don't think you know how cars, they'll buy a car from you, but they'll sell it for scraps, piece by piece by piece. And the pieces that they sell, if you add them all up, probably add up to more than what that car is worth. I think that's what WB is trying to do. If we can sell off bits and pieces, by the time you add up all of those assets that we just sold off, it's going to be more than what anybody can pay for WB as a whole, which isn't necessarily a bad business move. You know what I'm saying? They got the DCU, HBO, Looney Tunes, you know what I'm saying, all riding this wave of assets that they could possibly sell off. Now, from what I understand, they want to keep DCU, HBO on. Warner Brothers wants to keep those things, but sell off their cable assets, TNT and TBS and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, what does that mean for me and you though? I mean, do we get sequels, fewer new ideas, or is it just whoever buys them? Yeah, we bought them, and they just gonna be pushing out trash. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember, Disney sat on Fox for a while before they actually started utilizing some of the IP that Fox had, and they still haven't really necessarily went into that Fox bag. I think they only really bought Fox was just to get, it seems like just to, well, let me not say that, because recently we have been getting, we've gotten Predator and Alien uh IPs from out of Fox, but it seems like they just really wanted the X, not the X-Men, but the Marvel aspects of what Fox had. So we'll see what Warner Brothers do. Let's get into this article. So the board of directors is also considering other strategic alternatives to maximize shareholder value. Sounds like Warner Brothers Discovery is for sale after all, amid swirling reports of bidding interest by Paramount Global. The WB board of directors said that it has initiated a review of strategic alternatives to maximize shareholder value. That's the first acknowledgement of a metaphorical for sale sign hanging on the iconic WB water tower. In a press release on Tuesday morning, Warner Brothers Discovery board of directors said it has received unsolicited interest from multiple parties and it's listing. That's crazy. Not unsolicited. Damn, why they do all that? Okay, never mind. It don't don't want me to do that. So unsolicited. That's crazy because they're basically saying, "Hey, we're not even asking for these people," and they just saying, "Hey, we'll buy, we'll buy, we'll buy, we'll buy," which I guess is a good thing. That means you actually got, your company is, I guess, at a decent value, and it makes people want to buy, I would say. Strategic options include continuing with previously announced split and spin, a la NBC Universal and Versant, a transaction for the entire company, or separate transactions for the Warner Brothers and or Discovery Global businesses. There's even the potential for alternative separation structure that would enable a merger of Warner Brothers and a spinoff of Discovery Global to our shareholders. So what that in essence means is either they're going to sell off these things like the split and spin. Well, first, either they're going to sell off the bits and pieces. Either they're going to sell off like Discovery or get sold TNT and all of the assets under TNT get sold over here. Warner Brothers and what they want to keep as a studio themselves, they will, you know what I'm saying? So there's those aspects to where, like I said, where they just basically nickel and dime their company and pawn off their company, you know what I'm saying, that way. Or it's the split and spin, you know what I'm saying? Warner Brothers will be over here, Discovery will be over here, and it, you know what I'm saying, be whole new companies with different shareholders. I think it'll be different shareholders. Might be the same shareholders, but different shareholders. It'll be a different company. If you go look on like NASDAQ or wherever you do stocks, it'll have a whole different ticker. It won't be WBD. It'll be whatever this whole new company is as a ticker. So that's basically what they're looking at. This is what Zaslav said. He said, "We continue to make important strides to position our business to succeed in today's evolving media landscape by advancing our strategic initiatives, returning our studio to industry leadership, and scaling HBO Max globally." So they want to keep HBO Max. That's one of the big things that they are necessarily going to keep. Zaslav, the president and CEO of Warner Brothers, said in a statement, "We took the bold step of preparing to separate the company into two distinct leading media companies, Warner Brothers and Discovery." And that's what I was saying earlier, because we strongly believe this was the best path forward, which actually might be better than them just selling off Warner Brothers Discovery as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Because it seems, and I don't know. I don't know if he's tiptoeing on the wholesale thing. Because when you do that, they would still, it's still a Warner Brothers company. From what I understand, when you spin something off, it's still, that company is just not control. I think it's still owned by, but not controlled by. I think that's what the situation is. It's no surprise that the significant value of our portfolio is receiving increased recognition by others in the market. After receiving interest from multiple parties, we have initiated a comprehensive review of strategic alternatives to identify the best path forward to unlock the full value of our assets. My thing is, reason why I don't want like Paramount to come in and buy it, because to me that takes away from creative, just being creative, you know what I'm saying, like just being creative. When you have all the market share, you don't have to do things to necessarily reach out to the fans and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? So no, Puma, Amazon actually owns the rights to James Bond. Amazon has MGM. Amazon bought MGM, I want to say the last year or the year before last. So that's their cash cow over there. But they haven't even really been in the MGM bag. They ain't been in the MGM bag. But it's a lot of these companies buying up these older studios. You know, MGM was just out there dangling. They bought that up. Paramount was bought by Skydance. Now Warner Brothers could be for sale or is for sale as per this article. You know, I don't necessarily like that. I don't like that. I don't like all of the, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just big companies buying these smaller, or it just takes away the creativity to me. I like the steel sharpen steel. When there's no competition, there's no competitiveness, you know, there's no innovation. So do you see Gunn being able to continue? Any thoughts on Zach posting new? Oh, we're gonna talk about Zach, man. That's my debate. We talking Zach after that's my debate. That's my debate. Did you watch the interview? James Gunn sat down with some YouTubers. He sat down with New Rock Stars. He sat down with Screen Crush, and two other. I can't remember the other two, but they were all in the panel. They all got to interview James Gunn. James Gunn ain't going though. From the way he's talking, I don't see any evidence that he is leaving. You know what I'm saying? Um, like there's no evidence. I don't hear anybody saying, "Oh, it's there's not a credible." Let me say this: there besides that what is the cosmic slop? What is the name of that? That article. Besides that, or whoever that dude is over there, there's no credible rumor going on that he would be out. Not a credible rumor. There's a rumor, but is it credible? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting at. And if it's coming from somebody who's just a Zack Snyder D rider, I don't know how much credence I put into this rumor. You know what I'm saying? So my understanding and the way I'm looking at it, nah, he ain't going nowhere, man. He talking the talk over there. He really talking the talk. Um, so yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere. Really don't. Let me get back to this article. Um, they say our decision to initiate this review underscores the board's commitment to considering all opportunities to determine the best value for our shareholders. We continue to believe that our planned separation to create two distinct leading media companies will create compelling value. That said, we're determined that taking these actions to broaden our scope is in the best interest of shareholders. So, let me see. Since there's no deadline for this review, WBD is continuing to work towards its previously announced separation, which will keep its. So this is what of the separation. This is what they want to do. Say it will keep its studios, HBO Max, in one bucket, led by Zaslav, and boot its basic cable channels, the Turner channels and Discovery channels, and streamer Discovery Plus to a new company led by Warner Brothers Discovery Chief Financial Officer Gunnar Wenderfels. Also on Tuesday morning, Warner Brothers Discovery announced the price hike for its HBO streaming service, so there's $1 extra per month. Subscriber, I ain't reading all that. Why they why they doing all of that? Still raising prices. Still raising prices is wild. So yeah, these companies, they gotta go to the shareholders with if they're now. I'm gonna tell you this: if there's a lucrative deal on the table, they have to go to the shareholders. They got to. They got to say, "Hey, look, man, do we want to take this deal or not?" So if Disney shows up, if Paramount shows up with the bag, if they just backing the Brinks truck up, they got to go to the shareholders. And if the shareholders say, "Hey, look, let's do it," then it'll be done. That's the thing about that. That's the thing about that. They have a fiduciary duty, no matter what, to go back to the shareholders and say, "Hey, these are all the offers on the table." So don't be surprised, you know, if you see somebody you don't necessarily rock with buying up some WB. But they are for sale, ladies and gentlemen. They are for sale. Six Snyder Rider. Six says, of course, they were instructed not to ask about WB sale or his job security. He's saving face, haven't been heard from until today. Suspect. How is that suspect, man? How is that suspect? I don't see is that he was just no, he just did something with what Peacemaker finale was last week. He was all talking about the finale. What you mean you ain't heard from him? He been talking major about the finale, Peacemaker. I don't know, Six. I think you I think you hella biased. You might be more biased than me when it comes to Feige, man. And we don't need that. We don't need Feige to get his hands on DC. We don't need him to get his hands on DC. Really don't. Really don't. My bad. I mean it's just you moving like one. But I apologize. You if you're not a Snyder writer, I totally apologize. I don't want to put that. And I'm a Zack Snyder fan, right? I'm a Zack Snyder fan, but if you're not one, I don't want to put that I don't want you to wear that jacket. I don't want you to wear that jacket. So you Feige's lawyer. Well, get Feige on the phone. Tell him to come sit down. Come to the table, sit down with me, man. Tell him I can help him out if you want. I can make sure he keep his job. I can help him out. You tell him come talk to me, man. Tell him come talk to me. I do agree with you on that. Zach did never have a chance. He never had a fair. He didn't. Let me say this. He never had a fair shot to finish off his stuff. I get that, but he gone now. That's my only thing. Like he's gone. You know what I'm saying? He gone. But you know, with this sale, when you sell things like this, you end up losing IP or IP just disappears. You know what I'm saying? So I hope within this sale I don't lose Scooby Doo. I got to keep Scooby. We had a come on Scooby. Don't look. You know what? It's crazy because I think they got Hanna-Barbera over there too. And we're talking about a Jetsons movie coming up. I think that's WB. I think that's WB. I want to say I could be wrong. I want to say that's either WB or that could fall under Turner, which would be TNT. And I think they're selling TNT because TNT don't have the sports side of things anymore. So it just plays reruns now. They don't necessarily have anything like flagship over there at TNT. So I don't know. I don't know. So you fought with Gunn more than Snyder. Why are you trying to get rid of Gunn then? Why are you trying to get rid of Jimmy, man? Why are you trying to get rid of Jimmy? So Gunn never had a fair shot, but he signed up for this. All he has to do is be like, yeah, it's just all true. But what if it ain't true though? Like there's nothing that shows. I don't know how you leaning towards that. Nothing shows that even happening remotely happening. Remotely happening. Nothing shows that, man. I don't know where like even and old homegirl, what's her name? That Drake played the video. I was already following her with, you know what I'm saying? She good people. But I don't even know sometimes we can parse through information and put out the wrong thing as us as YouTubers. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they can give us some bad intel. You know, I don't know if her intel is necessarily good. Who said he trying to get rid of Gunn? Nothing in that article indicated that Zaslav was trying to get rid of Gunn. Warner Brothers, if they do the spinoff, they want to keep DC, HBO Max. That's what they want to keep. They want to get rid of TNT. They want to get rid of Discovery, all their cable stuff. That's from my understanding. So where are you getting that Zaslav is trying to get rid of Gunn? Yeah, stay away. Stay away. I don't want no crossovers, no nothing. Get them out of here, man. Get them out of here. Get them out of here. But yeah, y'all let me know in the comments down below what y'all think about WB pimping itself out, selling its assets off. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that in the comments down below, man. Y'all let me know. Let's keep this thing moving. Let's get into the big debate because it seems like Six is already ready for this big debate that's going on. Let's talk about old Zack Snyder and him dropping these photos for some. I don't know why he want to drop these photos. Why does he want to drop these photos? I do not know. He wilding to me. He a wild boy. Was it the anniversary or something? Did I miss something? He just want to drop photo. Like, what are you doing? Is he just trying to incite this Snyder stuff? It's like, let it go. Let it. Even if the sale did my thing. And before I get into it, let me preface before I get into this whole thing that's going on. Even let's say they get rid of Jimmy Gunn. Let's say old Jimmy and Pete, they give him the boot, right? They get the boot. What makes you think that they're gonna go and get Zack Snyder back? What makes y'all think that? How many coaches go back to old teams? Have y'all ever seen that? Have y'all ever seen a coach get fired, wait a couple years and go back? I haven't. I haven't seen it. Not from a firing. Only person I can think of is Phil Jackson going to he did 2 stints at the Lakers, but he was never fired. Okay. So let's say Zach does come back. Let's say Warner Brothers says, Zach, we want you back. What make you think that everybody out of the Snyderverse is showing back up? Who says Henry Cavill want to be Superman anymore after what he done been through this last 2 years? Who says Ben want to show back up as Batman? Gal Gadot is Wonder Woman. Ezra Miller. Do y'all want to see Ezra Miller as Flash again? That's my whole thing. Like, who said that these people even want to show back up? Who says? That's just crazy to me, man. That's weird to me that they're riding on the them thinking that is, oh, we get rid of James Gunn, Zack Snyder. Who said Zack Snyder want to come back? I know he posted the pictures and stuff, but who said he want to come back? Who said he want to come back? Let's get into this article, man. Let's get into this article. James Gunn, this is coming from Screen Rant. Move on, girl, move on. Zack Snyder's Henry Cavill Superman post proves DC is done with the Snyderverse. Filmmaker Zack Snyder recently posted a new film. See, they going the opposite way from what I'm thinking. No, they going the same way that I'm thinking. Like, this is an act of desperation. Act of desperation. Zack Snyder recently posted a new photo of Henry Cavill as Superman from the BV Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, but the response showed that DC Universe audiences have unequivocally moved on to James Gunn and David Corenswet Superman. The transition from Cavill-led DCEU to DC Studios' new DCU has been a bumpy one, but it looks like we're finally fully in a new era of Superman on film. And yeah, I just don't get it. Leave it alone, man. Leave it alone, man. Like, what you doing? We don't care. Look, I like Henry Cavill too. I like Henry Cavill played a dope Superman. I enjoyed his Superman. He looked the part. I know. I know. I know. But come on, Zach. His Henry Cavill's exit seemed like all of their exits from the DCEU was kind of messy, right? And I know it seems like some of the fans might be a little bit split on James Gunn, or some might lean this way. I get that. I understand. Totally 1000% understand. But it is over and done with for Zachary Snyder. You know, it is over and done with for Zachary Snyder, man. Since Cavill's 10-year Superman spanned nearly a decade from his introduction to 2013's Man of Steel to his final appearance in the post-credit scene in 2022's Black Adam. Yet it could still largely be categorized as a missed opportunity, with Man of Steel never materializing. Man of Steel 2 never materializing, and his performance in Justice League being butchered by reshoots. Black Adam then seemed to tee up Cavill's return to Cavill Superman to return, only for it to be announced a few weeks later that he would be recast. Like, I'm not, y'all done toyed with me. I'm not coming back. Yeah. I'm not coming back. Y'all done toyed with me enough, man. Why would he come back? He didn't come back for that. Ultimately, Corn Sweat landed the Clark Kent role in Gunn's reboot film. Superman debuted to extremely positive reviews and excitement from audience who were eager to for a new take on the Big Blue Boy Scout. Still, there remains a contingent of fans dedicated to seeing Cavill once again don the super suit, and they seem to be given a boost of morale by Snyder himself last week. Man, they ate that photo up, boy. Because not only did he post Superman, he posted Slade. Like, he put, you know what I'm saying? Like, he posted Superman and Deathstroke, but it ain't happening, Zach. Why post this stuff that you know is not happening? Why? The Zack Snyder's recent post sparked Superman debate on Instagram. Snyder posted a new image of Cavill in costume of Superman on the set of BVS with the caption, "Henry Cavill is Superman." Even that is hella out of bounds and out of pocket. Henry Cavill is Superman. He didn't say Henry Cavill as Superman. He said is, like currently. He's not Superman, man. Zach, look at me. Henry Cornsweat is Superman. That's who is Superman currently. Henry Cavill was Superman, but he ain't Superman now. He not. And that's okay. That is okay. It's cool. So the shot with monochrome 50mm Noctilux, 3 weeks on Instagram. Thanks to everyone. Although that post appears to be mainly in honor of his Instagram anniversary, it resparked it. So he did this for his Instagram anniversary. He knew it. So okay, I see what it is. This is to get people more riled up, more. It's exactly what it is. It's clickbait. It was clickbait. This ain't gonna amount to nothing. This is the anniversary of him being on Instagram. Andre Ware, what up? JD Informant, yo. The Snyder's post annoyed me. So corny and it is. It's corny and it's toned down. Very much so. Very much so. The comment on Snyder's post are a mix of those that support Corn Sweat. I guess somebody wrote David Corn Sweat is actually Superman. Hope this helps. And those that want to see Snyder return to direct the continuation of Cavill's Superman story. Henry Cavill is the Superman. Henry Cavill is the Superman. Come back, Zack Snyder. You are the best. However, the comments do interested lean into one distinct direction. My thing is too with the Snyder writers, man. Y'all don't support. Y'all don't even like Zack Snyder. Y'all don't like Zack Snyder. Y'all didn't. Rebel Moon. I didn't see y'all hyped up over Rebel Moon or his zombie movies that he did over there at Netflix. So, because my question is, are y'all Zack Snyder fans or are y'all DC fans? I'm gonna always ask that. And there can be some intersectionality from that, but which one are y'all? If y'all are Zack Snyder fans, go support Zack Snyder. Go support him. He over there doing work. Go support him and be critical of him because that Rebel Moon was not it. Them long ass movies for nothing. That was not it. Look good though. But that was not it. So DC audiences are aboard with David Cornsworth, the Superman, the top light coming on Snyder's Cavill post reads simply, girl, move on. Girl, move on. With nearly 1,100 likes 11,000 likes as a publication, this seems to be the prevailing sentiment about the state of Superman. There are, of course, plenty of comments supporting Snyder and Cavill, hoping they can somehow continue telling the Superman story, but none have nearly as many likes. Uh, Based on this, it would seem that Gunn and Cornswet have won over the audiences with their take on Superman, which doesn't come as much of a surprise since the movie holds an 83 critic score, 90% audience score. It's clear that the viewers enjoy Superman and are excited to see more Gunn and Cornswet take him next, which will be in the follow-up film Man of Tomorrow, releasing in 2027. So yeah, leave it alone, Zach. Leave it alone, good buddy. Like, just go off and do another Rebel. Go try to make Rebel Moon work. Like, because he could have. The thing is, what's crazy? If he was celebrating his anniversary, he could have easily posted some of those, because he did the same type of photo, black and white, monochromatic type photo with the cast of Rebel Moon. He could have easily done that. He knew what he was doing by posting Superman. He knew exactly what he was doing by posting Superman. And to me, that's foul. That's foul. That is foul. That's foul. So let's debate two sides here. Let's debate two sides. James Gunn, Jimmy Gunn's, his take is needed. Old guard got to move aside. Let this man cook. What do y'all think about that? Should James Gunn, or should we just let James Gunn cook, or whoever? Since y'all think he's gonna be fired anyway, should whoever in that spot, whoever is overseeing the DCU, should they just be able to cook in peace? Cook in peace. Old guard got to move on. Step aside, Unc. You know what I'm saying? That's what I lean on. I think James Gunn should be able to cook. Just let this man cook. Give him that grace. Let James Gunn have that same grace that we Zack Snyder got grace. I mean, they prematurely got him out of the game, but he got to pull off. How many movies he got to pull off? Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, and Justice League. Wonder Woman wasn't his, but he was involved in Wonder Woman. Like, he was there for a minute. He was there for a minute. Let him cook. Other side of that is, should Henry, you know what I'm saying? Should Zack Snyder be allowed to come back, bring Cavill back, and redo the whole Snyderverse? Because it seems like a lot of people online act like he's owed that. You know what I'm saying? Like, Zack Snyder is owed the opportunity to continue the Snyderverse. And I don't know if he's owed that. I just don't. Because a lot of people think the Snyderverse is just the stuff that he touched. The Snyderverse is all of that. Shazam, Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods, Black Adam, Wonder Woman 1987, Blue Beetle, which I like Blue Beetle, but all of these were under the DCEU banner, which is Zack Snyder's universe. But it's like y'all only want to give him credit for Man of Steel, BVS, and Justice League, or Zack Snyder's Justice League. But the concept of the DCEU is him. His fingerprints, what I say, 87, 84. I'm sorry. 87 was on my brain today. 84, my bad, Puma, 84. But that all his fingerprints is on that whole thing. So when you bring Zach back, you got to bring the good with the bad. My brother was born in 87, man. My bad. But you got to have the good with the bad. And it's a lot of bad over there with his fingerprints. Not necessarily Zach in general, but the DCU, it's a whole lot of bad over there. I almost want to say the bad outweighs the good. His universe ain't necessarily, you know, it ain't that. But you know what I'm saying? I understand this. Is I don't see. I understand the fandom. I get it. Hey, you're a fan of Zack Snyder? Cool. But at the same time, you don't support him in his other endeavors. You don't support Zack in his other endeavors. Zack Snyder might still would be there if y'all went out and watched what one I would say Shazam with the same angst, you know what I'm saying? The same energy that y'all want to watch Zack Snyder stuff with. Black Adam, The Flash, Blue Beetle. Maybe if y'all would have showed up in droves and numbers, maybe Zack would still be there. Maybe they wouldn't have ran Zack off. Maybe he'll still be there. But y'all didn't show up for Zack. Y'all didn't show up for him. Q, you all right? Zack was gone by the time Shazam 2 and Black Adam. All I'm using those as examples because it's like what Stamina said. Those movies was made in his image. Those were still, I still consider that under his umbrella. That's still under Zack Snyder's umbrella. And I'm pretty sure he got producer credits for. Let's look at Shazam 2. Let's see if Zack Snyder's name is anywhere on Shazam 2. In the credits. I want to see if he was a producer, a writer, anything. Let's see. Producer, where? Go past it. And he might not have been. He might not have been. He might not have had tested. But I still think that's under his. Let's see. No, his name ain't on here. Nope, his name ain't on here. So hey, Zack. I guess Zack was totally out of the game by that time. Zack was totally out of the game. Is this? You know what? Can't use Shazam 2. You are right. You are right, Q. You can't use Shazam 2 because I think James Gunn and Peter Safran had showed up by then. And I think they started touching things because I think Blue Beetle was produced by Peter Safran, if I remember correctly. So you might actually be right. I'll take that back. What about Aquaman 2? I think Aquaman, I think he produced that. He touched that. At least I want to say he touched that. I think he touched that. Nope, that was James Wan. About James Wan. Now I know Zack Snyder. I guess they had totally got him out of there. I could. Hey, look. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I can apologize when I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Let me back it up. Let me back it up. Got a little egg on my face. It's fine. It's fine. I get you. I get it. I get it. But Zack ain't coming back though. That still holds. That still holds. And yeah, like Stamina said, he might have been gone, but his work endured. It only means he didn't get to have further input. But nothing was retconned or whatever. They still continued his story or whatever. But for all intents and purposes, like you said, no, he was not there. He was not there. So, um, but he ain't coming back, and he shouldn't come back. You should want new creators to show up. See, this is my issue with Feige is I think he's over. I think his welcome is done. He's overstayed his welcome. I don't think Feige wants to be there. Blue turned it into a Feige talk again. I'm just only reason why I'm saying that about this is because I think the same thing with Zach. I think Zach's stay is done. I think his stay is done. I don't think he necessarily should be posting them pictures, you know. But I don't know if he wants to come back and do any more DCEU type stuff or DCU. I don't know if he want to be a part of that no more. I think if you are a Zack Snyder fan, go support the dude. Some stuff he been put. Zack has put out some heat since post walking away from Justice League and all of that. Let's look at what he recently has done. Army of the Dead, right? That was fire to me. Twilight of the Gods. I enjoyed that. I thought that was dope. Where's his other stuff that they just showing me? Army of Thieves. He didn't direct it, but he was a producer and he wrote. Army of Thieves is good, right? So yeah, he's put out some stuff, but he's also put out some stinkers. That the Rebel Moons, part 1, part 2. Nope. Nope. So he has a movie coming, as I'm looking, currently filming. He directed it, did the story, he's producing it, director, photography, he doing it all. So called The Last Photograph. Let me see what it's necessarily about. It's an upcoming drama thriller film, which will be directed by him. An ex-DEA operative searches the South American mountains for his missing niece and nephew after their parents are murdered. With the help of a war photographer who witnessed the killers, he confronts his past as their journey blurs the line between reality and the surreal. So there you go, Zack Snyder writers. You got something to support. You have something to support, Snyder writers. The Last Photograph. Y'all go support The Last Photograph. If y'all are truly, and that'll raise his cachet. If y'all, this would only help Warner Brothers or whoever look at James Gunn and go, okay, he out here doing something. Maybe we should bring him back. But like somebody told me, you're only as good as your last hit. You're only as good as your last hit. And this is a what have you done for me lately type industry. And he ain't necessarily, like I said, it's been some misses. He had some hits, some misses. I thought so too, Jay. I really want to see them do that. I thought the Army of Thieves or the Army of Dead universe, I think that should be his, instead of going off and doing Rebel Moon, he should have concentrated on that. He should have concentrated on the Army of Thieves, the Army of Thieves, the Army of Dead, all of that. Like, because the what was it? The Army of the Dead was dope. That was good. Batista was in it. And it was a big deal on Netflix. It was like a big deal on Netflix, right? The characters, I thought he did pretty good with the characters. And then he went on to do Army of Thieves, which was basically like a spinoff of that. And that was good as well. You know what I'm saying? That should be where you concentrate at. To me. Not Rebel Moon. Rebel Moon was Mm-mm. 6, a new segment idea. Blues reviews. First movie, Snyder's Rebel Moon Part 1. Oh, no. They too long. I mean, I watched both of them. I didn't get anything from them. So I would never recommend Rebel Moon 1 or 2 to anybody. Um, because I don't think there's anything to get out of it. I think those two were kind of like a movie for movie's sake. You know what I'm saying? It's like a movie for movie's sake, not necessarily. It didn't leave you fulfilled. It just left me like, why did we make this movie, and why was it so long? And then why did you do a director's cut to make it even longer? You know what I'm saying? Why would you do that? So they didn't gut it enough. Q should have been so glaringly obvious that was what it once was. Oh, you talking to Q? So not going to lie, Rebel Moon flop, but I think it would have been better if it was kept in Star Wars lore, not gutted to make original story. Yeah, but he don't own the rights to start. See, that's what happened when you write something that you don't own. You don't own the right to it, so you can't do it. So now you got to rework it as your own. And I'm not mad at that. I just think he put, and I like all the actors in it. That's what's crazy. I like all the actors in it. It was some good stuff in it. It was some good stuff in it, but um, yeah, 6. Netflix just threw the bag at him and just told him to get to work. Just work. And he did. He did. Rebel, you know what? This is what I will say, Q. Instead of a movie, it probably should have been a series so we can actually digest what's going on. You know what I'm saying? The bad guy was horrible and regular. You know, we got all of these smooth imagery, and the bad guy was just a regular dude. Imagine in Star Wars, Luke Skywalker finally meets, you know what I'm saying, Darth Vader, and Darth Vader is just a dude in a suit with a gun. Nothing special about him. He just regular degular. That's what Rebel Moon was to me. Even she wasn't. I'm expecting her to be special. She wasn't even special. So I said, okay, she ain't special. But what about the girl? Remember the little girl? She wasn't even special. Like, what? Nothing special, and nothing about that show was special. Cyborg showed up just to kill him off. I can't even think of dude's name right now, but he show up, they kill him off. But yeah, a show for Rebel Moon would have been way better if that first part you could have brought. You know, that could have been season 1. We're going to season 2 with what is it, the Scar Giver and all of that. But he dropped, to me, that was a major fumble. Major fumble. Major fumble. He gotta do better. He gotta do better than that. If for the way everybody's screaming about bring Zack Snyder back, he gotta do better than what he done gave us with this Rebel Moon stuff. He gotta do better. Gotta do better. Like I saw the potential in Rebel Moon. Lots of potential in Rebel Moon. Horrible execution. Horrible execution. He might have shot a guerrilla style like when he was finishing up uh, um Justice League. You know, they did some guerrilla style shooting, you know what I'm saying? no big studio. They did a lot of the stuff at Zack Snyder's house, from my understanding. Yeah, Ray Fisher, that's his name. Um, yeah, nah, got to do better. For me to advocate for Zack Snyder to come back, you gotta do better, bro. Come on, cuz you gotta do better, man. But I want to ask Six. Let me ask you this, Six. If, and this is Mr. Fantastic stretch question that I'm asking. If they were to fire Zack Snyder, who would you want to see? Who could they get to lead the DCU? Who could they get to lead the? It's a two-part question. And why do you not like James Gunn heading up the DCU? You let me know. Oh, sorry, y'all. Because after that interview that I watched today, I got a little bit more understanding about Zack Snyder and the way he thinks. I got a bit more understanding about the way he thinks. Snyder already fired. Okay, well, if he already fired, who taking his spot? Because if he fired, he sure doing a lot of talking to be a fired guy. He doing a lot of talking to be a fired guy. But let me know who. Man, guess time done caught up with me. Ovaltine shot her. Said, look, the Russos, they had bad outside of Marvel, but could be the same. Was that fair point, Q? Fair point. Fair point. Thing is, we haven't seen the Russos catch fire again with Marvel, right? Russos come back. What if this Doomsday is horrible? Then what? Then what? If it's horrible, he did an interview. He sat down with New Rock Stars, Screen Crush, and two other podcasts, and they had a panel where they, was asking them questions, interviewing them, and stuff like that. Just go on either one, Screen Crush, New Rock Stars. I can't remember the other two, but they all, put out the interview or whatever. So, yeah. Yes. Russos are considerably higher. Snyder could only dream of scaling the high state. That's absolutely, you are right about that. Russos came to Marvel and shut shit down. Like, they really holding their balls, you know what I'm saying? Like, pause, but they really shut shit down. I agree. Six say Gunn is a creative, a director, not a studio head. He hires the same people for every project. His work is unhinged. And he said he's doing whatever he wants because his time is limited at DC. He knew. When did he say that? And I'm not mad at hiring. Look, you don't say that about. Do you say that about Spike Lee? Do you say that about Spike Lee? Spike Lee hired the same people over and over again. We don't say that about Spike Lee. And how is his work what makes his work unhinged? Like, that's unhinged? Okay. The Feige gets so much hate while Gunn gets propped up. I'm here to bring balance like Thanos. Oh man. Feige wasn't getting hate at first. Feige was not they was calling Feige the man. He was out here. Everybody was on Feige, man. Come to find out, he wasn't even the guy. It was other people, other creatives around him who was making these movies what they were. Kevin Feige is like the Drake of making of Marvel. Once you remove the Ghost Riders, what Drake at? Once you remove the Ghost Riders, where is Feige at? All I'm saying. All I'm saying. So, what do you mean? When did he say that? It was like in the first or second episode of Peacemaker podcast. I'll go back and check it. I don't recall that, but I go check. I go check it. I go to look. You show me the receipts. I go look at the receipts. I ain't got no problem checking the receipts out. Since Feige has had nearly 20 years in one job, in order for people to arrive at their opinions of him, Gunn doesn't have that. It's apples to oranges. That's true too, Stamina. That is apples to oranges. Feige has been there, 20 years almost. Has it been that long? Yeah, 20 years. And that's what I mean. Like, let Gunn give Gunn the grace that we gave Feige. That's all I'm saying. Let him catch his footing. Let him get you know what I'm saying? Let him cook. I keep saying just let him cook. Just let him cook. Give him 2 more movies. That way he'll have 3 on his belt, just like Zack Snyder. Give him 2 more movies. That's it. Give him 2 more movies. You don't watch Spike Lee? What? Spike Lee put Denzel in every movie, Wesley Snipes in every movie, his sister in every movie. Like, Spike Lee and James Gunn must have went to the same school, same filmmaking school, because that's what they do. That's what they do. So I'm not hating on it. If I fuck with hardcore, I watch her show solo. Yeah, I bet you would watch her show solo. She's a nice looking white woman though. She look good. Said Kobe never won without Fisher and Phil, and sometimes the combo just works. Anywhere else, it just ain't it. That's Q. What is that in regard to? What is that in regard to? And I agree. I mean, sometimes you need whoever your creative partner is, whoever what I'm saying, your teammate is. Um, but I guess I need more context. You're answering something that I said. I'm pretty sure that's what you're doing. I just don't know. Who watched the Peacemaker podcast? I watched episode 7 podcast, and it was entertaining, but boo. Yeah, I didn't. I watched bits and pieces. I get like clips or whatever, but you're right. I don't. But I do think more people should. That's not a bad idea to do a podcast after your show premieres. I think that's a good thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Gunn doesn't. The thing is, Gunn shouldn't be the only one up there speaking on um the stuff. I think every week, whoever the major player of whatever episode was that week, or whoever got, I don't know if y'all remember, uh, or if y'all were Walking Dead fans. At the end of Walking Dead, they did a podcast called Talking Dead, the talk show, and that was some of the dopest stuff because it gave you a lot of insight on what was going on with the show. It gave you a lot of regular layman people who watch the show, you know what I'm saying? It let them kind of like, oh, I said the same thing, you know what I'm saying? Like it built a community in a sense for me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm cool with doing a podcast. If they didn't do it right, you know what I'm saying? If they didn't execute it right, then that's on them. I love those podcasts. There's so many side quests and tangents, but refreshingly open conversation. Six says, watch the Peacemaker podcast. Gunn was dropping jewels. He gives no fucks. He wanted everyone to watch Clark on Max so they get an episode Yeah, no, I do remember him saying that. I do, but that if you watched how Peacemaker was, it makes sense. That's why everybody was like, "Oh, he it went straight to streaming." Gunn also said he pulled it off out of the movies to take it to streaming so everybody could watch Clark going straight into Peacemaker. Now, I don't know if it boosted Peacemaker up or not, but I don't necessarily think that that's a dumb decision, especially with the way the box offices are now. I was just talking. I don't know if y'all was still in the chat last night. You know, me and Tina was chopping it up, and I was telling her they're gonna have to reset the marketplace as far as uh box office. And with doing so, they're gonna have to reset their budget. Because I think long gone are the big Tina was like Avatar's gonna do. She said 2 point, I think she said 2.8. In a regular economy, I would high five and be like, yep, I think it'll do that. And the way this economy is set up now, I don't even think it's I don't think it sees 2 billion. I think it might do 1 billion. I don't think it's gonna see the 2 billion, let alone the three. Because I think that's where he wants to get. If he gets the three, that record will never probably be broken. I don't think that record ever be broken. Picture Gun and more. Sega, what up? Say Zach never had a chance to cook. Zach left because of family medical emergency. They fired him because again WB wanted DCU to be like MCU. This is why they brought Whedon in. No, I know that. What I'm saying is Zach did get 3 movies though. Zach did get a chance to cook because everything tonal wise of what the DCEU was Zach's fingerprints. He got the cook. Yep, he had his family, his family emergency with his daughter, rest in peace to his daughter and everything like that. But he did get a chance to cook. They brought Josh Whedon in to finish the product, which was I think was stupid on their part, but Josh Whedon coming fresh off of what he did, Warner Brothers chasing Marvel. They went and got the Avengers director to do their version of Avengers, and it just didn't work out because Zach had already shot. Now, if Zach hadn't touched Justice League at all, and Whedon came in, Whedon might have been able to do a better movie. But since he was working with what Zach gave him, and he was trying to make it his own, it just didn't work. Not fuck Spike Lee. What's wrong with Spike Lee, man? What Spike did to you? What Spike do to you, Six? Zach and DC Russo's and Marvel. HBO doing after shows for most of their big titles. James being the front facing dude he just chose to do one himself for better and for worse. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah, but they brought in guests and it was great. Yep. Talking Dead podcast was different from Peacemaker podcast. Until Spider-Man makes 3 billion. I don't think I'm trying to tell you. I think we need to to push that out of our brains. We need to push that out of our brains. Spider-Man ain't making 3 billion. Not in this economy. China is not a player anymore. A lot of those countries overseas aren't big players anymore. Pirating is back in style. Things cost too much. So 3 billion, nah. Spidey doing 1 billion, yeah. Avatar doing 1 billion, yeah. Maybe getting close to 2, maybe. But 1 billion, 3 billion. I gotta laugh at you, my G. Gotta laugh at you. You say Spider-Man versus Deadpool to bring in the 3 Bs. I just can't see it. Just can't see it. Let them write a freaking orgy scene and Peacemaker being cringe. That's not DC. Um, I don't know. I don't know. The origin scene was wild, but it's on HBO. It's on HBO. I wasn't necessarily mad at it. Say not the Justice League that ruined it. Snyder Cut would have been a hit. Kobe to Phil and Fisher could be Zach to DC. Russo's the more. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. I see. I got it. Got it. To finish the product was Snyder's, and oh boy, did they finish it. Mortal Kombat style finishing. That's not a Justice League would have never gotten a theatrical release in order to be a hit. A movie that long ain't making it off the studio lot. Yeah, it was long. They would have had to. You can do a director's cut like that was, but it would have had to been shortened. Studios want short movies so they can get the movie ran multiple times. So if I put this movie in theaters, that way I can get him. That way I can get the movie in as many theaters as possible and get as many people to see it as possible. So I want a short movie. Short movie mean I can be in theater A, theater B, theater C, theater 1, theater 2. You know what I'm saying? Like that. You know. Adam Sandler used the same core team. He has hits and misses. However, I found out that group wrote some of his greatest hits and so on. But they are a team though. They all come, Jay, they all come from Saturday Night Live. They all of them. I think except for what's my man? Paul Blart. I think he was the only one who didn't um come from Saturday Night Live. So yeah, they are a team. They're a team, and it's hits and misses. You know what I'm saying? Um, Feige don't have that team though. If we talking about Feige don't have that team. Now I got him, Chad. Had to hit blue with the SAT type logic writing. Oh man. Said why wouldn't it have been made? Lord of the Rings was long. True, Lord of the Rings was long. But Lord of the Rings is long. Like 6, you're not wrong in that. Lord of the Rings was long, but Lord of the Rings is long. That's the only thing I can say. Justice League doesn't have to be a long movie. If you understand that logic, like I'm trying to adopt Lord of the Rings. It's long. Like it's long. Like there's no way around doing Lord of the Rings and it not being long. And I'm pretty sure at the end of the day, Warner Brothers would the director's cut of Lord of the Rings, I'm pretty sure it might be 10 hours. You know what I'm saying? They cut that movie. I'm pretty sure they cut and chopped that movie and edited it down as much as they could. And it's just a long movie. Just a long movie. Justice League, which was a fresh story done by Zach, didn't have to be long. Didn't have to be long. So my whole thing though, before we go off into this tangent, and it's kind of time to wrap it up, is Zach ain't coming back. Warner Brothers sale or not, if they get rid of Jimmy Gunn, Zach ain't showing back up. The DCU is not being rebooted. The Snyderverse is not being rebooted. It is not coming, it is not coming back. The Snyderverse is not coming back. It's not coming back. So are y'all on Zack Snyder's side that he should be posting the pictures? Or are y'all like, come on, man? What are you doing? I'm personally saying he could have posted, like I said, those Rebel Moon pictures. He could have posted that, but he didn't. He wanted to do that because he knew it would engage. Shit, Zach and And Jimmy might be working it. Who knows? Zach and Jimmy could be working together. It ain't like Zach and Jimmy ain't worked together anyway. I think Jimmy wrote, what did Jimmy write on? Was it Watchmen? He wrote on something. And do Sucker, are we letting Zach get away with Sucker Punch? I paid my money to go see Sucker Punch in the movie theaters, man. I was mad as hell when I left. But that's another one that Zach has a director's cut of, which makes the movie better. I don't get on Twitter, so I have no idea what's going on with Zach. He just talk a lot. He just talk a lot. Some say he lie, but he just talk a lot. I hear you, Six. All I'm saying is how movie theaters, how these studios really work. Now, if it's worth it, they don't mind doing a 3-hour movie. If it's worth it. If it's worth it. But yeah, man, let's get on up out of here. I appreciate y'all chat. I appreciate you. Y'all came for me tonight, man. Y'all Q came for me. Q done linked up with Six. Q done linked up with Six, man. Y'all got it, brother. Y'all got it, man. Y'all got it. But I love it though, man. I love it. I really do. Let's get up out of here, man. Let's get up out of here. Y'all let me know what y'all think about Zack Snyder posting those pictures. Y'all let me know if y'all want the Snyderverse back. And let me know who would replace James Gunn in the event that he was unceremoniously walked out the door. Let me know. Let me know. So yeah, House Gang, man, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. 2 big moves, 1 legendary debate. If you laughed and thought, shit, I lost my train of thought. If you laughed or had a dope moment or thought or just watched with popcorn ready, smash that like button, hit the subscribe, turn on the notifications. Tomorrow we will dive into something totally brand new. It might just be out of the blue what I talk about tomorrow. Might not have nothing to do with comic book movies, Zack Snyder, or Feige. Might not have none of that. So I want y'all to show up. Come through for me, man, like y'all came through today. I really appreciate it. Appreciate all y'all. But yeah, you know what the deal is. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. Y'all take it easy, be safe. And like that there, we are out. Peace.
This concludes today's broadcast from Blues News. We hope you enjoyed tonight's programming and the time we've shared together.
Right? Always be about being authentic. Drop like that drop to what it was March, so that we added to the slate on the strength of an exception.
So I think it's confidence. I think that
Blues News is dedicated to bringing you the very best in pop culture, music, and conversation, serving viewers everywhere, every day. On behalf of our staff and crew, we thank you for watching. We'll return tomorrow with more entertainment, insight, and fun for the whole house gang. Good night and good luck.